All right. Hello, everyone. Today is the 21st of December, and I am here doing a beautiful session where we're working with the confidence to cherish. So I've taken a break from group sessions for the last maybe about 4 months or so. I needed to regroup. There'd been so much that had happened through the Magic Makers that I kind of needed time to resettle in myself. And what's come through as vitally important through my spirit guides, through my own spiritual exploration, is the need for us to step into cherishment. And cherishment is very similar to love. It's possibly exactly the same thing in its core aspect of it. But I believe, at least from the English language, how it comes through us, to cherish is a very active form of love. And it's it doesn't hold responsibilities. It's something that comes from the grace of just being so enlivened and engaged with the world, with a thing, with a person, with an experience. I had an amazing opportunity to receive the feeling of being cherished, really for the first time in my life, around my 55th birthday a couple of months ago. And it was the most profound experience I've ever had. It was something that allowed me to realize that when we're holding that feeling, which I'd kind of pushed away for so long, that actually it wasn't something that stayed contained within me. It moved through me just by its very nature. And as I feel into all of the woes of the world, and it's, I'm not some kind of mystic that's able to, figure out all the woes, but so many of the difficulties that people come to me that we're working with comes down to the feeling that if we could hold that cherishment, which is actually a word, if we could hold that within us, then we would answer so many of the ails that are around us. But then I realized that I didn't always have the confidence to hold that feeling of being cherished and to have that run through me, coursing through me, like water flowing or electricity flowing. I didn't have that confidence always to be able to do that. There were times when I would go back into a sense where I don't belong, or I'm not quite good enough, or I just made a mistake there and I was a bit of a jerk, and so surely that means that I'm not what I thought I was, and so therefore I could never be or hold cherishment. And it just keeps coming back. Spirit just keeps taking me back to that place. And it feels like a very solid foundation to do actually a whole year's work on, which is probably what I'm going to launch in a few weeks or so. So what we're going to do today is to work on that confidence. So 2 things that we need to do before we walk into this session is we need to decide 2 different things. We need to remember or work out in ourselves 2 different things. One is a sensorial experience, really between our bodies and the planet, that you cherish the most. So let me say that again, because it's a funny thing. It's like, so what in your senses? And that's feeling, tasting, touching, hearing, smelling. It's like, what was the last one? What of those sensorial experiences, maybe all of the senses, have you had in your lifetime, in this body, that was engaged with the earth in some way, that you cherish, that you can go back to and that sustains you, that you were so immersed in, that it was a moment of pure bliss? So again, for me, that was scuba diving. I used to scuba dive before I had kids, before I moved to Britain and everything was too cold. And I would be held in the middle of a wave but underwater. And that to me was the most blissful experience. So I'm going to give you just, 30 seconds, 60 seconds to think about what, and it doesn't have to be one, it can be many, but I want you to have something that reminds you of your connection to the planet. And just finally, if you haven't been able to find one, if that just feels, because sometimes we can just be in a space where we can't actually remember any of those things. Just taking a moment to feel into the gratitude. I think all of us are lucky enough to have a home with a roof over our head and generally, 3 square meals type of thing. So just the gratitude for what the earth gives you and has provided for you. Yes, maybe through also humans, but it's still the earth providing something. And so if you couldn't find something that really hit you, like my diving experience, for instance, then just allow yourself to come into gratitude. So this is going to be needed later on in the session. And the next piece is about a connection to a greater than self force. So this is a little bit trickier because each and every one of us will have a different version of greater than self. We might feel like we are in connection to a God. We might call it source energy. We might see nature as the only thing, but nature perhaps with an extension to the cosmos and the nature, the natural things that happen out there. So this needs to be your personal sense of connection. And I want you to think of one thing that inhibits your connection to that greater than self source. So again, for me, it's been that I came from a family that was very judgmental of spirituality in any form. And the cynicism I developed as a scientist. So those are the things that stopped me from connecting to, a force greater than myself that organizes things beyond me. Okay, and just one last thing before we start, you guys have been very patient, is that I will use the word divine to mean the process or order that is given by heaven or nature, or simply the natural order. So I will use the word divine for that. Please put in whatever word works for you around that. Okay, now we can start. So let's just take a few moments to come back into our breath. And I'm going to open up to the directions. It feels like we need to really sink this down a little bit more, and our energies are a little bit too high still. We've been in the thinking mind, and now we want to go into our bodies and to the ability to connect enough within our body to connect outside of ourselves as well. So let's just take a few moments and listen to the rattle and just let your mind and your body relax. call on the 4 directions and the guardians of the directions for each and every participant to hold them in right relationship in time and space, in right relationship with their guides, separate from all, but healing on the same influences. I call on the earth, the sun, and the moon, and the stars and the compassionate star people, the great teachers and masters, the loving and compassionate ancestors. I call on all of them and the guides of each and every person to allow this session to unfold as is perfect for them in this moment. Now in your mind's eye, allow yourself to see a place of natural beauty on this earth. See an archway or a door frame through which you can walk, leaving this ordinary reality that you are, where your body will still be and you always have a home, but temporarily allowing yourself to move from here into the other realms. And through this doorway we will walk, and only that which is in our highest and greatest good will be available to us as we walk through this doorway. And in this space that you walk into in this other realms, I want you to allow yourself to see a pillar. This might be a pillar of light, it might be a statue, it might be a lamppost, it might be a tree. But what this pillar represents is trust. And it is a fundamental aspect of being human. A natural law, reciprocal relationship between us, the natural world, and that which is the organizing force greater than us, the divine. That anything that we need will come. We're going to be reaching back into the very beginning parts of our existence, reaching back to our very conception. And since that time, since our conception, there has been no reason why we wouldn't continue moment by moment. Take a deep breath and know that in all of the religions and even modern physics, all that really exists is this moment. Realize that your life started from a spark of the divine. And we're going to leave this moment in our lives, whatever age you are, whatever you're experiencing in your life, right here, right now. And we're going to swim down our timeline. going past every birthday, going past even our very day of birth. Swimming down through the moments of your development. Moving past all the complex forms, back to moments where just a single cell type eventually made your whole nervous system, or all the bones in your body, or the skin, your teeth. Going down to where you were just 2 cells, and then 1, and then allowing yourself to witness the very moment of your conception. Now, in Chinese medicine, this is not just a movement of a sperm into an egg. And even those two coming in together will not guarantee life. It is a divine remit that enlivens the seed for a human form with both visible and invisible qualities. This is your remit to life. Your form composed of heaven, the atoms that were there at the Big Bang, and sustained by properties of the earth. We're going to stop time in that very moment. Allowing your adult, ordinary reality self to experience the magic that resulted in your existence. Allow yourself to let go of the form that you are now. In this darkest part of the year here in the Northern Hemisphere, we celebrate the transformational time of what the darkness can allow us to let go of. And the darkness just before the spark of your creation is the source of all that was ever possible for you. Dive deeper and deeper into that core aspect. And perhaps at that moment, just like the moment of the height of the darkness within the yin and the yang, it becomes so intense, perhaps so cherished, that it can do nothing else but to explode into movement, into form, into song. So from that darkness, seek the light that shows you the magic of your very existence. No matter what the relationship was or is with or between your birth parents, that magic was bigger than them. And it links you to something bigger than you. And it contains the truth of your belonging here on this planet, in your body at this time. Sit with this feeling that you coming into the world was no accident. There was a divine spark that brought the earth and the heavens together within you. And connecting again to your ordinary human body, sitting on your sofa, lying in your bed, whatever you're doing. What do you notice now? Are there any colors that are there with your creation? Any smells? Any sounds? Any feelings? Any tastes? Any aspects that light up the energy within you? How do they dance within you? Can you have comfort as those sensations ebb and flow as they naturally will? Or do you notice it feels uncomfortable? Can you allow it to change as you change in your body and life? Can you light up new sensations to help you in the moments to come? Is there anything that you can gather from the darkness that you say, actually, I forgot that this was available to me, but now I remember, and now I know. With the energy observed from your very creation, this place of wonderment, this place of total potentiality that is so potent that it can do nothing but expand. And feel yourself reaching down, the adult you witnessing the very moment of your creation, reaching down to the earth. It's a channel that moves down your spine, Allow that channel of energy to move down into the earth. And recognize that you would not have existed if it were not for the magical combination of the divine with the earth herself. That you are meant to be here. So as you reach down into the earth, allow yourself through this energy exchange to say, I'm yours. I'm here. You're mine. I'm yours. I'm here. You're mine. There is no division between you and the earth. And remembering that moment that you brought in earlier, what you really cherished. Remember that moment where it felt like the earth was holding you and you were holding the earth at the same time. Sink into the understanding that this is a relationship. You and your senses and the earth is a divine relationship. The celebration of that, the opportunity to cherish and be cherished, is a point to existence. This is the confidence to cherish and be cherished. And now let's take a moment to consider what you already identified as holding you back from your connection to the divine, or that non-physical organizing force of the universe. Notice what that already identified force does to your energy. Notice what it does when you feel yourself meeting the forces that say you're not okay, you're not good enough, you must actually change it to be like X or Y, to be a good citizen, to be a good girl, to be a good boy. And start to open your vision, allowing yourself to see any and all of the unspoken energies that are interfering with your ability to connect to the divine. Some of these are very human systems that have been created, traditions even. Things like national boundaries or family dynamics or even capitalism. can come in and put barriers around that very natural expansion of you and your senses having a relationship with the earth, knowing that through owning that completely, you will then be able to reach up and out in a natural expansion of your energy flows. And you have been living and giving power to these forces that say somehow you have to alter this in order to fit what it is to be a human being. But here today we get to flip that on its head. Because here today you have gone back to the very basis of what it is for you to be a human. You know that you have inherent belonging. And that is not dependent upon twisting yourself for anybody else's ideas. That your observation, that your ideas and what comes through you in that moment of being cherished and cherishing is what is needed for the earth and yourself and your community, and it is valid. So allowing yourself to see all of these barriers to the expansion of your energy, and deciding in this very one moment what matches your values, what you will honor and what you will not. And in your mind's eye, allowing what does not honor you in this lifetime to simply be moved away. And connecting again to that naturally flowing energy from the earth into you. Feel it expanding, activating every cell, moving through every energy center, coming up from the earth through your central channel, coming to a point where it is so alive. Moving from the earth to inside of you and all the way up through you and up to the heavens. Allowing yourself to connect to even the mere possibility of an organizing force outside of our own realms of understanding. Perhaps just knowing that the atoms that make up you are also the atoms that make up every aspect of the universe. Perhaps you have a stronger sense and a knowing of a star that has the same source energy as you. Extend your energy from the earth through you all the way out into the cosmos. You are sending the information flow, the consciousness of a reconnection between you as a human to the earth and the earth through you as a human out to the heavens. In Chinese medicine, this is what a human is. It is a perfect conduit between heaven and earth. You are supporting your health as well as the health of the planet, and dare I say even the universe, by allowing yourself to be this beacon of light. You are saying to all of the cosmos, there is something here that is utterly cherished. And just like there was a relationship between you and the earth, you giving to the earth, explaining where you're at, explaining your gratitude for cherishment and for existence, giving that to the earth, and then the earth responding. Now there will be a response from the heavens. There is also a relationship between yourself and the cosmos. Your love and cherishing of yourself on the earth is provided to all of existence, so that anything that is needed from the unseen realms is provided. And for here, it isn't even necessary for you to believe, but drawing upon that pillar of trust, perhaps seeing yourself in your mind's eye with your back to that pillar now. Trusting that you came into this earth at this time and that what you can provide is a stepping into an activation of a new relationship, a relationship where there is no barrier to cherishing both yourself, your family, and your community perhaps, and cherishing the earth at the same time. And within this, cherishing the relationship that the earth and all of her inhabitants have with the rest of the cosmos. So just allowing that trust to hold you, that whatever guidance you need from the great teachers and masters, the loving and compassionate ancestors, the stars and the compassionate star people, can be provided. Just by you allowing there to be a connection. You're a beacon of light that has become an information flow out to the heavens that says this is what we need in order to honor what is utterly cherished. And finding yourself back in your nature area. Feeling the strength of your pillar of trust at your back. Feeling the undeniable connection between you and the heavens and the earth. Because otherwise you would never have come into form. Knowing that there is deliberate calling for you to be here. And in that, your voice matters. Your love matters. Allowing yourself in your mind's eye to see yourself as like a tree. Your legs becoming the trunks, your feet and toes the roots, your arms sprouting with branches and leaves, your hair becoming the flowers. You're a tree bathing in the sunshine. The coming light of the new year. Still in connection with unseen stars above. Receiving everything that is needed for you to remain in relationship. Cherishing the earth and yourself. You are a necessary conduit. You are allowed to feel how the earth responds to the heavens with you as the in-between guide. Giving back to the heavens what it needs through you. It is through your very existence that you have done what you needed to do in this lifetime, which is to be a perfect conduit between heaven and earth. And a bit like dropping a pin on a Google map, allowing yourself to mark X on the map. This is a place you can come to when the ordinary reality has gone a little bit screwy, and you can come back here. And you can remember that you have a divine remit for this lifetime. And if you can remain in that place of cherishing, and what flows through you because of that is what is perfect for any moment. This is your place to come back to. And now allowing yourself to come back through that same archway that we came through in the beginning, or doorway. Coming back into the ordinary reality of your body, of your everyday existence. Get the blood flowing a bit, stretch and move. Maybe take a drink of water. Remember, water is going to be very important. And take a moment to consider anything that felt important for you to remember from that experience. Remembering if you felt comfortable with an ebb and flow of connection to the earth and to the heavens. Just like the moon changes phases, we will ebb and flow with our relationship. And that flexibility is an important one. Notice if there's any aspect of that journey that you would like to revisit. Anything that you've learned about your ability to cherish yourself and your home, the earth, and your home within the cosmos. But now notice the celebration that it is for you to be in this body, in this lifetime, at this solstice. Tomorrow, stepping into the return of the light, having gratitude for the darkest days, for what we were allowed to drop and renegotiate. Finally, giving thanks to your guides, as I give thanks to mine, for holding space. Each and every one of us continuing to be in our own little bubble, connected, but individual as well. And that ends the session. I give absolute thanks for each and every one of you for being here today.